Good morning, folks. We are headed to Red Mountain Park this morning for a hike. Y'all asked for it, so you're gonna get a part 3. Of the conversation from whenever we had it with our other couple. So we are headed to meet the Smiths now and go for a quick hike, and then we will resume this interesting conversation.
Good morning, folks.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's all.
I thought I wasn't the morning person. We made it. Good morning. Say good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Y'all excited about our hike?
Yeah.
They're not excited. Not at all. We go.
They don't really want to be here.
They don't want to be here, but marriage, you know. Oh.
Yes, you can. You got it. Grrr. Okay, yeah. We ain't scared. We just trying to make sure our wives are safe.
Your wives are fine. Your wives are in the front.
Yeah, because the danger usually be in the back.
Ooh, let me start recording. On the hike. The one, the only, Sherry Brown, the one, the only, Miss, oh no girl, yes herself. Good afternoon. Again, we have the Smiths here with us one more time. Y'all asked for it.
Nobody asked for that.
They did.
They asked for y'all.
They asked for it. They said we want 3. We want a part 3. We want more. That's what they said that. So this is what we're giving it to them. We're sitting in the car, y'all. We have not been sent good weather. And we went hiking today. We drug our men hiking. How did y'all like it?
It was all right.
Look at my husband's face.
It was an event.
It was an event.
Yeah, I would just say that.
Okay.
I feel like everybody should try it at least
At least once.
One list.
Yeah.
Not-
A half.
Yeah.
How far did y'all think we was going? What did you tell
I
us?
thought we were gonna do like half mile,
Yeah,
maybe.
mile and a half.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Who does a half-mile hike, y'all?
It's not. We drove 30 minutes to even get there. So, anywho, it doesn't matter. Stay focused. But if you want to go hiking, definitely go to Red Mountain in Birmingham. We are Birmingham natives, so we do have some fun stuff here, and that is one of the fun things. So since y'all asked for it, one person in particular, I don't know if she want me to say her name, but she sent me a topic that she wanted to discuss, and so thank you to her, because she is always supporting us. She know who she is, and she giving us more content, so thank you, girl. So we're gonna talk about deal breakers and divorce. So first, as far as deal breakers, so everybody has some things that they want and don't want, and then there are things that you need and then that you don't need, but then there are some things that are just like, all right, this is a
Deal
off
breaker.
the table.
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker.
Right.
So y'all want to just list some of y'all's?
Yeah.
Do y'all mind?
You don't mind, do you?
Why not?
Our deal breakers, I think, from the very beginning were like, for me, any type of abuse. So physical, mental, emotional abuse, I'm out. I think a lot of people, divorce is like this polarizing thing where you either understand why people get divorced, or you're like, never, it ain't never gonna be me, you should never, you can make it through anything. And I think that everyone has a breaking point.
Yeah.
Me personally. So
right.
for me, any type of abuse is a deal breaker. We also discussed pretty early on being partners, being able to help financially. So we don't have a 50-50 house. My husband makes more than I do, so it's not that I have to help him with the mortgage or anything like that, but he doesn't want a wife that takes all her money and does whatever, or either doesn't work and he has to give me an allowance or something like that. So from the beginning, that was something that was put on the table, and I feel like if I ever was just like, nah, pass on working or helping financially, that would be a deal breaker, right?
And what about you, Edwin? Any deal breakers for you?
The infidelity, definitely, because I just feel like once you allow someone inside of your marriage, like whether you're giving them, even if you're not having sex with that person, you're still giving them emotional thoughts, emotional feelings that you should be giving to your partner. And once that happens, I feel like there's really nothing that you can really do in my eyes to like make up for that, because it's just like, why are you going outside of what we have, because we're supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be a tight ship. Only us, me and Sharon, are supposed to be involved in this, and like that's a huge thing. And I think that that's one of the main things why people get divorced too in America and all over the world, is in infidelity. I like to piggyback off of what she said in terms of being a partnership in a marriage, like, because I know that like that was a big thing, and that's why it's important to have counseling and getting everything out there in the beginning of your marriage and expectations, because that was a big thing that I drove home in what I was expecting of the marriage. And like some people may be expecting it, but they don't really go into in depth. But I feel like that's a big thing for me,
because people don't talk about money.
No, it's a taboo thing.
Yeah.
And like people kind of think like, okay, the man's supposed to make, like they making the most, but sometimes a woman may come in and be making more than a man, and like
because it has flip-flopped several times in our relationship on who was making more money.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's important that knowing that both parties involved are doing their best to build up the household and contribute to the household in whatever way they can. And I think that that's a huge thing, and it's a partnership.
Yeah.
So.
And however that works for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you all want to have separate accounts, or like, one joint account,
or if it works for your wife to be a stay-at-home wife. I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I'm saying that that's not our thing.
Right.
But yeah, it just needs to be clearly stated in the beginning, and then also not only in the beginning, but throughout, because dynamics change all the time in a marriage. People get promotions, people get let go of jobs, get other jobs. You may add more to your family, where you may want to, like, it's better for one of you all to stay home and take care of the kids for an extended period of time.
If you have 2 or 3 small children or whatever. So
daycare is high out in these streets.
exactly.
What about you? Deal breakers.
As far as deal breakers, to me, I have a different answer. It's okay for me. At this point, my only hard, definite, any type of deal breaker would be the abuse thing. I want to add.
I know I'm smirking, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you probably got some more stuff to add to it, because we had a conversation. But I do want to say that I had a lot of deal breakers at first, but in my experience, in my very limited experience, sometimes when that stuff happens, you will be at a point in your relationship, it's like, well, let's see if something can be done about this. Let's see if something can change, or, you know. So I found that a lot of things that I've told myself, like, oh yeah, I'm not dealing with this, or I'm not going to go through this, or I'm not going, you know, I'm not entertaining this. I have, and it worked out. Also, there's stuff that I didn't even know that would be a deal breaker that I thought, oh, okay, I would be okay with that, and now it's like, okay, yeah, okay, no, this can't be a thing. You know what I mean? So if you have your deal breakers, or if you're dealing with somebody with deal breakers, know that sometimes stuff changes. People change their minds. Your tolerance for something may change. You may say, okay, yeah, I'm not dealing with somebody who leave their clothes on the floor, and then you get in a situation where somebody does leave their clothes on the floor, and it's like, all right, well, it's really not that bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not worth throwing away all of this just because of this one deal breaker that I had. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Because I feel like deal breakers are different from pet peeves.
Right.
Like, you gotta be clear about, like...
And it's easy to confuse the two when you're not dealing with it.
Right. And like when I meant the difference in, you know, wants, needs, you know, deal breakers, because sometimes it can just be a pet peeve. Like, I may not like something you do, but that doesn't mean that I'm out of there because you're doing it. But for me, I think it would definitely be the abuse. That has been something that we talked about. I know we talked about that going in, and I don't think that's something that will ever change, because I'm not dealing with that. And then infidelity has been something that I've stated as a deal breaker for me as well. But I'm happy that you brought up the things that will change, because that was also one of my gonna be one of my questions for you guys. Like, you know, in a relationship, because it is an evolution, because people do change, what happens when there's a new deal breaker that's introduced? Or what happens when infidelity happens? What happens when somebody just might mess up the money, you know, and do something crazy, you know?
Dealing with intentions. For example, I've lost a job while we were married. That was a big thing. We were homeowners at that time. But it didn't become a deal breaker for my husband. And we've already stated in the beginning, hey, I want you to contribute financially. But was it my intention to lose a job?
That's
Was I
outside of your control.
acting a fool? And then what kind of plan did we have, you know, to get us through that point? We didn't lose our house or anything like that, because we weren't, you know, overexerted when our budget, we had savings, things were, you know, paid ahead. So, and then I was actively searching for another job, you know.
You were hustling. You was just getting it. Like, wherever way you was just trying to, like, get whatever dime or dollar out of whatever situation.
Right.
And
But that's me. And I feel like knowing our deal breakers, knowing our expectations of each other, I felt like that was something that I could do. I also became, I think, more conscious of spending money. You know, just, okay, do you have to have this right now, or can you budget this a little bit better? You know, since it's just one income now, you know, how do we budget? So I think it depends on the deal breaker. I think kids, for some people, are deal breakers. To have kids or not to have kids.
That's a big thing.
And I know people that have said one thing and then changed in the marriage. And I think that you have to flex with people. Like, okay, if we knew from the beginning that we wanted to have kids, but we had two very different ideas of when we would have kids. And so at some point you have to compromise. You know what I'm saying? we decided we didn't want to have kids right away. We had, I want to say Edwin started off by saying he wanted to wait at least 4 years or something like that. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
I about lost it.
That's a good number.
But then you get married and you start having fun and you want to do other stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that certain deal breakers you can be flexible on. Abuse, I'm not flexing on it.
Yeah.
I don't think Edwin would flex on infidelity. I actually had an interesting thing when we started talking about deal breakers because infidelity was not on my list. I told him, I was like, you cheat, we're not getting a divorce. Well, I said a lot of stuff. There are a lot of consequences, but I cannot incriminate myself on video. But the point is,
He know.
yeah, he know, and we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Now, if I cheat on him, he divorcing me.
Right.
If he cheat on me, it's another story, but we still gonna be married.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody's flex.
You gonna wear all white to the funeral or black? We don't wear
Colorful,
black.
be colorful.
Okay.
I know a lot of people, the older that I get, infidelity isn't that deal breaker that it once was in your 20s and early 30s.
Yeah, and
Is
I
that
think
crazy?
that's because
Well, because for me, I always say, oh yeah, no, I'm out of here. But then it's like the older I get, it's like, I mean, was it just a one-time thing, or was it like a relationship? Now I got like different stipulations. Like I need to know more before I make a decision. And if you have to do your investigation and check off these boxes, it's not necessarily a deal breaker anymore. It's like, what happened?
If a life was created, I'm out.
Now,
That is where I draw the
now,
line. for
I'm not
me.
raising another man's baby. Like, I just can't do that. Like, that's just asking too much of me. Because not only do I gotta deal with this and plan a baby shower.
It's a constant
Oh, that's a
reminder.
lie.
So I don't think I'm that mature. I don't think I could get past that.
Yeah.
You went out and slept with somebody at one time. We can go to counseling and try to figure out and work through it. If it's a habit, I'll probably kill you. So
Yeah. Or it may be a situation where you might have brought a germ back.
not a germ,
Yeah,
a disease.
Yeah. or you know, because Rona out here too. I don't want that. You out here kissing in the mouth, and now you done got this. So now, if it's threatening my health, that's something else. You know, like
Right.
It's a lot of different things. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm still out of there, but I'm thinking about it now. At one point, it's like I wasn't even thinking about like I would,
Okay. So that point made me think about the whole marriage is an evolution thing. Things change. And I'm happy that we brought that up because a lot of times people will be like, okay, well, I'm out of here just because it is. And it's just like this whole Will and Jada thing that's going on right now. Outside of it, number one, not being our business. It's number two, not even in our tax bracket to be in our business. Okay, these are rich people problems. And it may be some people out here in our tax bracket with these type of issues, but I feel like they stand a lot more to lose. So when you start talking about divorce, it's like, well, what are you willing to lose? We just watched a movie last night that my cousin was in, and it was basically this man cheated with a girl from college, and I kept telling you at every point I was like, he just need to tell his wife, he just need to tell his wife, he need to tell his wife. It was about 3 parts. I was like, he just need to just go and tell his wife.
Right.
Him. Nah, he just need to kill the side chick because she crying. He just kept saying he need to kill her. And I'm like, no, he just needs to tell his wife.
No, that don't solve anything.
It
But-
does though. It
Yes,
does.
because it
solves
kept
so
Don't
getting-
much
solve it
stuff.
like.
But it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And so when you
It's over with.
but so
you
even
gotta
if
know,
he
you
had
gotta know what kind of like vows you have though too. So,
Yeah.
like, if like
then-
you was talking
Go
about
ahead.
killing her, like that might be the best option.
if it's me,
Oh my god. Got killed. Then she started talking some she was pregnant. Oh no. Bop.
So
But
at the end, the wife basically was just like, well, you're not gonna mess up my family.
I think what helped was that it came out that he really didn't cheat. That they just drugged him and made him look.
Yeah, but he still went. He went.
They
Like
drugged him.
it don't matter. He still went and he still got off the phone with his wife really quick at the bar because he was with that girl.
It's like that movie.
it's kind of like you don't need to put.
Don't put yourself in those situations,
That-
like the
that's what-
little foxes.
That's my whole process. Like when I'm going out, like if I feel like I'm getting into a situation where if my wife was standing next to me, would she approve of this situation right now? Like, is this something that I need to be doing? Like that's why always my mindset.
Yeah.
Because I mean, plus Birmingham's small. Everybody be knowing everybody seeing everybody. So like your business will be out there
And we got a big family.
in the streets.
And we got a big family.
Nah, but seriously though, no, like you for me, that's what I always do when I go out. Like if Sharon was standing right here next to me, would she be cool
Okay
with this situation? And that's why like infidelity is a big thing because I feel like she should be doing the same thing when she out with her friends or family or whoever as well. So I'm number one. She number one to me, I'm number one.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. That's it.
And so the other thing I wanted to break or discuss too was the part, I'm happy I brought it up, about money, because a lot of people don't talk about money and they don't talk about financial situations and what financial situation you may be in, and that's something that's important because it can. What are the top 3 things that can kill a marriage? They say
Finance is
cheating,
number
finances,
one.
and
Because I think infidelity is like 3rd on the list.
Abuse?
was it
Was
abuse?
You better not be
One
abuse.
abuse went on?
I don't know, but I know that infidelity and finances are definitely in the top 2. And people don't talk about it. You know, you may have someone that it might be as simple as, because I think that's a simple thing to talk about. Like, you know, do both of us plan on working? You know, my husband already know. You know what I'm saying? If he ever gets to a point where he hits the jackpot, guess who's gonna be at home? Sis.
Our dogs.
Sis is gonna be at home, and he knows that. But I understand right now it does take 2. And I'm also happy you brought that up, because a lot of people have this conception in their mind that marriage is not supposed to be 50-50. It's supposed to be 100 to 0.
Right.
And the 100 being the man's wife. And I know I have been told that by a lot of people that are older, that mean like a man's supposed to take care of you. Well, because I have not wanted to be taken care of in that sense for so long, it damn near scares me to think of, like, I just always look at, like, I don't want to be broke. I don't ever want to be broke, and I don't ever want to have to depend on no man to give me anything.
I think that goes back to that, where it works for you. Because,
Yes.
and this is not everybody, again, but when I think of those older relationships of where, you know, how we always say, well, you know, your granddad is our granddad is took care of.
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about most of those relationships, is that what you want?
Right.
Like, I may pay some bills in the house, but I also have a say in the house. And that's important to me.
Yeah.
And it is worth it to me
Yeah.
to go out and work to make sure that I am represented in my home. I guess I don't know. I guess I feel like, you know, money equals respect a lot of times, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's gonna ruffle some feathers when it comes to marriage, but I feel like if I was not contributing, it's certain things that I would not have a say so in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's with a lot of things. If you're not contributing to anything, don't come to me talking about it. That's like not just money. Like if I'm washing the cars all the time at the house and Brittany come out and say, hey, why don't you wet this side and wash it? I'm like, well, why don't you come do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, then go back in the house. I got it. I'm going to do it this way because this is what I'm doing.
Right.
She does stuff, and I'm not finna come to Brittany and say, hey, why don't you do it? Because I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think if you want a voice in anything, you should contribute to that thing. And also, let's say it's a situation where, it's a guy doing all the work and a woman's not, y'all, having children and all this stuff 10 years go down the line. What if something happened to that man and now you got to get a job, but you don't have any work experience for the past 10 years? Now what?
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off that, like, I'm the kind of man that's gonna go like clean up in the house and do things like I'm gonna do laundry, do dishes, do things like just just because it's we all harping back to it's a partnership. Like
right.
I should be able to like do. I know I can't do everything that my wife does because she's a woman, I'm a man. Like we're different in different aspects of
But
the
you can
gender
help.
things. But I can help. I can learn. I can ask like how to do this. So I can help out.
Right.
It's all about compromising and like going back to the finance thing. It needs to be a running conversation about finances because bills change. Not only like you may lose a job, but like bills may change. We may add like car may go out. You might get another car, so you maybe not had a note, but now you got a note. Like maybe and
It's kind of like a like COLAs. Like you get a cost of living increase
yeah.
at work. So talk about it every year. Like even if you don't want to talk about it every year, let's look at it every 6 months.
I think
and talk about it.
is good about doing that, being like, hey, well, I had a raise. Do you need some help with something or whatever? And we kind of reevaluate.
Yeah, do I need to take over something that you maybe are doing? Do you need to, like, she'll always ask me, like, you okay, you good on money? Like, if it's something like that I had to pay, like, out of the norm or out of the ordinary, like, we always, like, thinking about, like, helping. And that's the thing, like, I don't see a lot in marriages. Like, people always want to, like, be comfortable with what they want and have, and then they don't really think as much as like going above and beyond for their partner, unless it's like an ulterior motive maybe behind it or something like that, so it's not just out of the goodness and love of the marriage and love of your partner, because it is a partnership. So like that's a big thing that I see in failing marriages is like people just doing things just with their own thoughts in mind and own desires and own things, and it's not like to help out the household,
The greater good of
the
family.
household and the family.
And dying, like, you gotta die to yourself daily. Like, and that's one of those parts. Like, yeah, it's a partnership. It's not always about you. It's not, we can be very selfish and want what we want, but we have to think about the other person.
Well, a lot of people get hung up on, oh, I'm supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to do that. That's not a partnership. Like, if you're not willing to help, and it's not even okay, my wife didn't say nothing about helping her do this, so I'm just going to stay over here and do what I'm supposed to do. Like, no, it's anticipating the need. You see something that needs to be done, do it. Like, a lot of people get hung up on, oh yeah, this is what men do, this is what women do, and nobody's helping each other. Like, how you gonna help your wife do something if she doing what the women do and you doing what the men do? Like, she need help with some woman stuff, you may need help with some man stuff. Brittany was out in the yard with me planting flowers and stuff. Like, y'all saw the video, it's one of the early ones. Like, that probably would have been more stress on me or her, because I don't know, some people feel like men do yard work, some people feel like women plant flowers. We was doing both, I don't know, but we would not have gotten that done if it was just all on one person.
Right.
So
that just goes back to like, you know, a lot of people, and I know it's people that work with me, they'll be like, oh, you know, oh, your husband cook? Like, he cooks. Like, we have a sign in the kitchen that says, husband is the cook. But it just makes sense. It's not that I can't cook. It's not that I'm incapable. Do I not like it? Absolutely not. It's not one of my favorite things to do. It's actually one of my least favorite things to do. But he can do it. He's there.
He's a good cook.
He's a good cook. So,
Excellent.
Right. It's not like he's really a chef. So why would you cook?
why would I?
Why would you be the main cook?
But going back to what Brittany said,
We weren't coming over there if Brittany was.
like I know,
We come over for his meals.
I know Sharon doesn't like to do dishes, like for real. So I will go in and be like, man, I'm gonna do the dishes because I know she don't like to do the dishes.
Because I'm going to put everything in the dishwasher. And he'd be like, this is non-stick. This
This
is
not supposed to go in the dishwasher. Some things don't need to go; it'll be messed up. So, but
leave the meat.
you know,
Everything.
man, but that's
There's
just
some pots and pans, but no.
yeah, it's just like attention to detail. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's a big thing in a marriage because those details. Like we keep saying this evolve thing. People evolve, people change, situations change, money change, emotions and feelings change. Some things that may have not hurt me in the beginning of marriage may hurt me now. Some things that may not have hurt Sharon in the beginning of marriage may hurt her now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have to pay attention to those things. That's why you need to pay attention to your partner, talk to them, communicate. That's a big thing. Let me get off my soapbox.
Goes over into the divorce part. So like, what's y'all's thoughts generally on divorce? Because I want to go first.
Okay.
Because when the girl initially sent this to me, I was like, somebody had said, whenever you're in a marriage, like when you get married, just don't even mention divorce. Take divorce off the table. Because if you're forever throwing a divorce word, it's gonna happen. And I was like, well, I can't speak on that because somebody told me that too, and I just stopped using the word like a little while ago. A little while could be any time. Okay. So I agree though. I agree that you should not always have that as an option because you don't want to keep, every time something happens, you don't want to keep saying, oh, we just gonna get a divorce. Like, you can just leave, you can bye. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. And then people always will add to that, like, the spiritual part. God hates divorce. God hates divorce. I have heard that so many times. And I don't know if it's actually like a verse in the Bible. Do y'all know?
I know God loves the family, but I don't know if it says he hates divorce.
Yeah, I've never seen, and I could be wrong. I'm
we're no
theologian.
Yeah, so we don't know. So if there is a verse that says that, please drop it in the comments.
In the comment section below, please. Yes.
Yes, please let us know. But people always say God hates divorce. God hates divorce. But I just be like, well, if God loves me, and as he loves all of his children. If we're his children and he loves us, would he allow me to be in a situation where, like we were talking about with those deal breakers, would he allow me to be in a situation where I'm being abused?
Yeah.
That's not, so I don't think that he can love us and then want us to be in messed up situations.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the sake of being married. So I don't advocate divorce at all, and I don't want to sound like that. I don't advocate divorce, but it can happen, and there are reasons that it can happen.
And a lot of times it's understandable. Like, okay, I see why you got out of there.
Yeah. So is that bad that we feel like that?
I don't think it's bad.
God gave you, a sound mind and free will for a reason, I think. Do I think that divorce should be taken off the table outside of those deal breakers? Yes. It shouldn't be your go-to every time you're having an argument and stuff like that.
Because you speak things into your marriage.
Yes, you can definitely speak things into existence. However, I think that instead of saying, are we going to get a divorce, why don't we say, are we going to go to counseling? Like, and
Are we going to talk about this more?
yeah, like, what is your plan for the future? Like, okay, this is a problem, because it has to happen over and over again. It has to be habitual for us to be at the divorce point. So, okay, this is a habitual issue. What's the plan to fix it?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to talk about it? Are we going to go to counseling? And not just marriage counseling. Maybe you need some individual counseling, you know? I'll just speak for myself. I feel like I learned how to deal with my spouse better being in counseling just for me.
Yeah, and that's the same for me. I, you said it, but same thing here. It's a lot of things that I feel like with me learning just through counseling on my own about myself, and just from little simple things like, girl, why are you so mad? Like, and it just makes you think a lot, and it makes you do a lot of self-work. So when you do that self-work, you have no other choice but to be a better person for yourself and for your spouse. So that's helpful also, I think.
I think when it comes to divorce, I think you got one side that maybe wants to move forward and reconcile and do things, and then you have another side that's kind of, well, I'm on the fence, I don't really know, and like some that's just completely just been checked out of the marriage completely. And then like, I think it all kind of boils down to like, why did you get married in the first place? Did you get married for the right reasons?
That's a good point.
Like, because like, you know, maybe you come into the marriage and you're like, okay, I want to get married because this person is successful,
or because I'm 30. A lot of people, I gotta be married by this age. Yeah, that's stupid.
Or this is like,
That's stupid.
It's stupid. That's what it is.
He been hiking. He tired, y'all. He could have came up with something else, but
It's stupid. Okay, I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna talk. It's about to be my turn.
but
go ahead.
But I just believe like in the beginning you can kind of know if you're going really truthfully and honestly going into counseling with an open mind and putting yourself, like undressing yourself in counseling, and your spouse, your future spouse is really undressing themselves in counseling, then you kind of have everything out there on the table, and you understand like, okay, we really truly genuinely love each other. And if you're doing that, then there shouldn't be any talk of divorce. And then if it gets to a point where it is a divorce that might be on the table, then both of you all will come to an understanding and a compromise and work through whatever issue it is in the marriage. So I feel like if you have a good foundation, and things happen and come up, and we've talked about the deal breakers. Now, I'm not talking about those. That's a completely different thing. But like, if there's nothing like that's a deal breaker, it's something that you can kind of discuss and talk through. Then, if you both have love and you establish that foundation in the beginning of the marriage, you can get through it. If both of you all want to do that, 'cause it can't just be one side. Because I've had people that I've known, like, that one side wants it, one side doesn't, and that can't be the case. And I think that's what happens in a lot of divorces. Like, one side really wants to stay together, one side doesn't, unfortunately. But I think that's what happens when a lot of divorces really occur.
No, seriously. All right. Divorce should be the very, very last thing that comes up. I like that Sharon said, do, you know, instead of saying, are we getting a divorce now, is are we going to counseling? That's a very good way to look at it. I mean, marriage is serious, divorce is serious. I don't think that should be something that's just like, okay, yeah, this is what we doing, or, oh no, I was just mad, because like you said, you speaking that over your marriage. There is power in the words that we say.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, when I was saying about I understand why a lot of people be getting divorced, is because a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of people aren't mature enough to be in a marriage. A lot of people get married. It's guys that I know of that got married because she gonna leave me if I don't marry her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been boyfriend and girlfriend so long. You didn't marry her for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're gonna do it because you don't want her to. I mean, you can't have both. So now you're gonna end up getting a divorce. I know people who get married just because they have children together.
Mm-hmm.
Just because all you doing now is showing your kids how to not be in a happy marriage, because you don't want that person. It's people who get married because the other person got some money. Like,
and it's also people that will stay married because of their children.
Look, stop doing that to your kids.
Dang.
For real, stop doing it. You're not showing your children a happy situation. Your sons and daughters are going to grow up and think that's what marriage is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And that marriage that the only reason you're there is because of them. Not because you love this person, not because you enjoy it. It's because I want two people in the pictures when we take family Christmas photos. And your children gonna grow up thinking that's what it's supposed to be. You're doing more harm than good. But I'm not passing you. That sounded real judgy. Do whatever you feel is best. But before you even get married, make sure you're getting married for the right reason. Make sure you like that person. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're going to like that person 10 years from now. If it's stuff that y'all are working on, look at it like, what if this never changes? Mm-hmm. What if this never changes? Yeah.
I wanted to point that out because that's something that we talked about in counseling. Like,
yeah,
people don't change, y'all.
People do not change.
People don't change.
Like,
who you married?
Yeah. They can do some work, they can try, and they can give it their all. Respect that effort.
Yeah.
Respect that effort. But if you're not willing to deal with it as is, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
My husband loud. He always gonna be loud, y'all. I decided we need a bigger house. That's it. All I can do is get some more space.
And a lot of people think, oh yeah, when we get married, this is gonna change. I'm telling you, it's not. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube viewership, it's not. And then you 5 years in and mad all the time, like, I want a divorce. Where did I go wrong?
Why won't he do this?
Yeah, why won't
she do that?
Yeah,
why
like,
won't she
you knew
like
what
this?
it was. So,
you
know, again, it should be your last go-to, because I do feel like people can do the work, but save yourself some time. And all of this, oh, I don't want to look crazy in the streets. Like, make sure you want to do that. Make sure they want to do it. There's a lot of people that wanted to get married that day and talk the other person into wanting it. Like, if you got to coax somebody into doing something, don't do it. You know what I mean?
People like the idea of marriage.
Oh, and weddings are beautiful. Did y'all see ours? All of us in these cars? They're beautiful.
Look, we had a little bit of wedding.
No, we didn't have
Not
it.
us.
Y'all had a nice wedding.
But people like that.
Yeah, like people like that part, but like that. Look, that wedding is 4 hours long.
Yeah, man.
Stop saying that. It's about 8. The whole day.
Your wedding day is 24 hours long. How long is your marriage? Are you finna put up with these years for this one day? Like, seriously.
You gotta want to put in the work.
Yeah, and then like I was saying, people be, oh yeah, I gotta be married by this age. Says who? If you're not ready, if you hadn't found that person, if you hadn't checked off these things that you want to do personally, if you haven't done the work on yourself personally, you know, why you rushing? Why you got to do it by this time? You gonna be okay.
And then,
like, seriously.
And I also like thinking like what I just said about put in the work, but also it shouldn't feel like work when you're married. Like when you really truly love someone, it shouldn't feel like, oh man, I gotta sit down and have this conversation with her, and it's just gonna. But you got, at the end of the day, it's all love. Like if it is what it's supposed to be, and it shouldn't be like. It can be hard at times, but it shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be laborious. It shouldn't be laborious. You go anything worth having is you gonna have to do some work to get to what you want. I mean, y'all ate crab legs before. It take a little time. You gotta, work at that.
Once you get in there, though.
But once you get in there, you hit it with that garlic herb butter.
It should be good, and it's fun, and it tastes good.
Yeah, then after a while, you get your speed together. When I hit this part, I gotta do this. You good. You doing some work, but you getting it done. If you just like, oh man, I gotta just. If you dreading it, then yeah, you probably should have held off. And I mean, I hope they'll work out, but I understand if you.
But even if it. Man, just say anything.
So, but what we do want to make sure that we state and make very clear, we're not perfect, okay? Nobody in this car is perfect. We don't know the answers. We just giving our take on what our perspective on how we feel about certain things that have been brought up. So I say all that to say, we're not judging anyone. We're just speaking on our beliefs, our opinions on something that has been brought, a question that was posed to us and what we thought about it. So that's what we're giving. But if you do find yourself in one of these situations where divorce is your only option, then get the divorce. If you in a situation where you feel like, I've been in this relationship and it ain't going nowhere, do what you need to do. Like, take care of yourself and your other person as well. That's you can mutually take care of both of you at the same time, because I feel like if you truly love somebody, if you truly love yourself, number one, and you truly love that other person, you gonna want what's best for them. And if you are best for them, and they should know if they best for you. So
if you guys disagree with anything that we said or have a different point of view, or you feel like we left something out, let us know in the comments.
That's what the comments are for.
Yeah, like, we could have gotten something wrong, or maybe we have said something that may have been offensive to some people. Brittany gets carried away sometimes. But just let us know. Give us some feedback,
So thanks again for watching. Y'all know I be liking to end on some good stuff. So what is something that you said, oh, I am never doing that, I ain't about to be doing that, and then you did it and you found and you realized, like, okay, this is the one?
I think I probably said, like, I was never checking in, before I made a decision. Like, it's my money, I do what I want to do with it. Mm-hmm. And there have been so many times where I have checked in before. So I think it might be something like that. Like, I ain't gotta check. I'm grown.
For me, it was like, I ain't finna be cooking for no man. I ain't finna be cooking for nobody. Even when I'm dating, I'm not finna be cooking. I'm not cooking for no other man until he my husband. And here I am in month 3 calling my mama talking about, now what you say you put this salmon on and how you usually do it, and all of that. So it's something small. I ain't gonna say that's what made me know that he was the one, but I knew that I was like kind of in there because I'm starting to be in
I think
stuff
mine
like
was
cooking.
big, something like that. I said I was never moving in with nobody else, and then I moved in with Edwin too. So.
Waiting on Sharon hand and foot.
You said you would never do that?
I would never. I said that I would never do that. Like I wouldn't think about that. Like doing that for like anyone for real. But it's like I enjoy doing it for you. A lot of the time. Most of the time until she makes me angry, then I kind of hold back for a little bit. But just being honest, but I never thought it would be so easy and something that I don't mind doing.
Mine's gonna make me sound like I was a terrible person. Brittany.
I mean, if you were,
verdict still out.
The thing that I know that I changed was like I cared about her opinion on stuff. Like it was once a point in my life. It was okay. This is what I like. This is what I'm doing. I don't care if you have a problem with it. If you don't, go do something else. Cause this is what I'm doing. But I remember the time where I started noticing myself saying, this might make her upset, or let's reach out to Brittany and see what she got going on before we do this, or just considering her feelings.
Yeah.
And not to say that I didn't consider
you.
anybody's feelings, because that's not entirely true. But it was a very, very conscious effort of, let me make sure she's gonna be okay with this. And it was like even down to, like, I remember when we were dating, like I bought one of those little blankets that people had. I don't even know what they're called. What do you call those?
a throw.
Yeah, a throw. Yeah, because she used to come over there and be cold, and I'm like, and I remember thinking to myself like, I mean, put on a jacket.
This is why men need women.
You know what's up?
Right here. You ain't have a throw?
I wasn't cold. I didn't need one. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and she wasn't the first person that I dated that came over to my house and was sitting over there like this.
And you just ain't care.
I don't care. Ooh. You know when you coming. You know I keep it cool.
I made sure Sharon had snacks for Sharon.
Yeah, it went to that. Like, okay, let me get this, or now it's like, because I ain't care, man. Like,
I had a job,
but I did.
And some beer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That healthy house.
And a few
If I'm gonna be over here, it need to be some Oreos or something.
I appreciate you for your care.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all for being and I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all are the real MVPs. Stay tuned for more content, more things to come your way. We will look better the next time. I will, definitely.
They will. Me and Edwin ain't finna be on camera no more.
No, y'all. If y'all want to come back, the door is always open. We always appreciate y'all. We appreciate you guys for.
And the viewership, like y'all, they might ask for y'all back.
Yeah.
We gotta give them what they want.
We gotta give them what they want, because that's the only thing that's gonna drive these numbers up. So speaking of numbers, make sure that you like, follow,
subscribe, comment, because we gotta get these engagements up.
And turn your notifications on, folks. If you turn your notifications on, I promise you I'll stop texting you and telling you that it's a new video up. Watch the videos, turn your notifications on, and make sure you share, okay? Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.